Good evening, Earthbound fans. How's everybody doing tonight? We've got another fine quad race for us tonight. We've got MBGenie, Sitake, KittyLyra, and Blink all showing down in the Boogey Percent 2025 Earthbound Super Series. Looking for a good clean race. Nothing below the belt. No sucker punches, no rabbit punches. Trying to remember my Looney Tunes trivia, but here we go. Shoutouts to all the hard work on the awesome new layout we have here. And they're off. Good luck to all the racers. Joining our friends here in the year 199X, one of the finest cutscenes ever. Really just kind of relaxes you into an evening of randomness. Getting everybody synced up here. So we have 2chan to thank for the awesome layouts. Wonderful, wonderful job. Alright, and the runners are off. Paying a visit to Tracy's room here to pick up our cracked bat. Looks like Lyra is going to be equipping right inside Tracy's room. Debatable which one is a little bit faster. I think it's slightly faster to do it in the hallway just because you don't have the lag from Tracy's character. I tend to do it there just because I get a little anxious hitting all those buttons right after picking it up, so it gives me some time to breathe. So the first walk up the hill is just a little introduction to the terrain here. We're going to see our runners trying to make the best use of any of these glide spots to cut down on their extra movements. Checking out what this big explosion was. We're going to try to get the lowdown from Pokey, but he's not giving us anything helpful, as per usual. You don't want to mess with the minute muscle memory. There's so many things in this run that are just up to player preference, which is one of the things that makes this an awesome speed run and an awesome race category. The word awesome being very subjective. Uh-oh. We have some shenanigans here on Sitake's side. Little controller malfunction. We're back up and running. The three runners are waking back up in the middle of the night to see what's going on. And we have a return visit from Pokey. Alright, we've got Ness out of his pajamas. We're off. We're going to grab Pokey and head out into the evening. We're going to see which our runners choose, above couch or below couch. Alright. Ooh, Blink making nice work of dodging that crow. Got and the snake snuck up on Genie on the left side here. Got Blink able to make work around the crows getting stuck on the terrain there. Very nice job on that. Gonna do a despawn here at the top of the hill. Lyra right behind. Got this dog spawn here. Gonna get it stuck on the trees. And should be able to get around there. It looks like, ooh, she's got a snake to deal with. Sitake making his way up the hill. And Genie is through the snack fight. Able to get around that crow with the iframes there. So we've got Blink the first one up the hill. Genie trying to get this dog to make up its mind what it wants to do, and it doesn't want to do anything, clearly. Lyra and Sitake right behind. Getting up to Picky. Looks like Genie's going to grab the bread roll on the way up. We're going to get our lecture from our dear friend Buzz, friend from the future. So the walk back down should be pretty uneventful. The runners who did not already grab it are going to be stopping to grab the bread roll, most likely, to stock up on healing items. The Starman fight is essentially scripted. We have Buzz doing all of the work for us, but we do have some randomness that we can hopefully gain a little bit of time from. We want to see Starman defend or hopefully use freeze just to minimize the amount of text that has to be printed by hitting all of the kids. And we're really hoping to see some smashes from Buzz, so we should see an interesting display here with all four runners. Working their way back down the hill. We'll see what happens. Looks like Blink is going to be the first one over to the Starman fight. Everybody's got their bread roll. The Buzz shielding everybody up. And our first fire out the gate. This is going to hit all of the kids, so we have a text box from each of them. Got all four runners into the Starman fight. Ooh, and a big smash on Blink's side with an on guard. Gonna be the first one through the Starman fight here. Charged forward for Lyra. That's gonna take care of Starman there. So we've got the right side through the Starman fight. We'll see what Genie and Sitake have here. Charged forward there, but looks like it must have been a low roll for Sitake. So we've got a couple of longer fights. On guard and a charged forward, so Starman down for both. Buzz, no, don't do it! Sad face. So we're going to hear our tale from Buzz here. Our runners want to make sure to be careful. If they're mashing through the text, they are going to have one point where they have to answer yes, and the next point they have to answer no. You do not want to keep mashing yes. You're going to have to do this text box again. Both sets are neck and neck. Couldn't get much closer on the left side, it looks here. So blink out into the daytime here. We'll see what the zoo has in store for us. One dog gonna try to despawn there. Oh, a sneaky snake. Sneaky, sneaky snake. So, kind of a drag for Blink on that one. We're just gonna head up to the treehouse and grab Mr. Baseball Cap. Gonna try it on and see if it fits us. Don't know if we like the style, but we appreciate the generosity. Gonna grab our trash burger here and head off to the department store. So Blink equipping his Mr. Baseball Cap. We've got Genie and Sitake both out. Oh! Angry Crow here. Some dips and dodges. So we were the first one down here doing the manip walk. Shouldn't say manip walk, the despawn walk here to try to avoid all of these spawn tiles for the sharks. We only want to fight these two particular sharks in the way. We're going to take care of this guy for the guaranteed hamburger drop. So we're hoping to not see too much charged forward and eat up some of our healing items. But it looks like we do have a fell down there for Lyra. Blink right behind, getting into the first shark fight. Our other two runners loading up the department store. Gonna sell the Mr. Baseball Caps. They have enough money to afford the cheap bracelet as well as loading up on the T-ball bat. So we are into the second Pogo Punk fight. Can't seem to stay on his Pogo. Always good to see. Another burger into the bank. Blink choosing to load up with the fruit juice there. A little bump to the healing. And at the Yes Man Jr. fight, usually at this point, pretty uneventful. You can generally just auto fight it. I'm going to be healing up here before the Frank fight. So we were our first one through the arcade. Blink just behind getting into the Yes Man Jr. fight. Let's see what Frank has. Coming out swinging, so we've got a light attack there. Pretty much going to want to heal after every attack, because Frank can... we don't have a whole lot of margin of error on our hit points. A nice smash there, 55. That's going to help out a lot. So staying on top of the healing. Brandished a knife is what we don't want to see there, but Frank is tamed. Very nice fight for Lyra there. Coming out swinging for Blink there. That was a heavy attack there. Talking nasty, that's nice. We get a free turn to catch up and hopefully get some damage. 26 life is usually pretty safe. I think anything above about 24 is fairly safe to mash out if Frank gets a heavy attack off, but you have to have that healing queued up, so... Blink's getting through that. Lyra's through the Frankenstein fight. We've got Genie just starting the Frankenstein fight. So alternating, generating a burst of steam, and have either a light or heavy attack out of Frankenstein, so we just have to manage our health here and get damage off whenever we can. Hopefully we can time our heals for whenever Frankenstein's going to be doing the attacks, so we can maximize our heal out of that and get hopefully a double attack from there. So Frankenstein is down on Genie's side, and we've got Sitake through Frank. Frankenstein down for Blink. So Lyra's off to have a chat with Perko. We're going to see how the Frankenstein fight goes for Sitake. Alright, Frankenstein down for Sitake. So all runners through the first hurdle. So Lyra's got the key to the entertainer shack. We're likely going to see a quick stop at the department store to load up on some money and then go stock up on burgers before we start our slug grind here. The ant fight coming up is often a big divider for the runners. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, but there's a few hurdles to jump over for that before we get there. We have our slug grind coming up, and we're going to see a few different strategies, most likely. A lot of different ways this can go, but the game is going to have a big hand in who's going to come out of this quickly. Stuck up here by the entertainer shack, blocking the door. So rude. We're making our way into the cave here. So starting off nice with a slug pack there. Not having to worry about any ants on the first couple of tiles, so it's going to be 4. We're looking for 22 total slugs. A few different ways we can go about this. Generally, we're going to want to try to get most of this done on the first floor here, because we only have slugs and the ants to contend with. Get up to the second and third floors, we have to start watching out for the antoids, and they're just obnoxious. Don't want to be dealing with them if we don't have to. First 4 pack down, so we've got a mouse there. Not quite in a spot where you can get it hung up here. I'm going to try to respawn on this tile using the rock as a visual cue. It looks like the mouse is hung up there on the cliff, so I'm going to try to quickly respawn some slugs here. So nice grind spot. We'll see what the game wants to do. Blink into their 4-pack fight. Got some stutter action going on Genie's side here. Going to dip into this cave here because those mites are not going to cooperate, unfortunately. Another one here. Looks like he might try to pull that one over and stutter away. See if we can despawn that. So blink through the first 4-pack. Looks like all of our runners have a 4-pack. I think this is going to be 8. Healing up before the next fight. Game not being too forthcoming with the slugs on Lyra's side there. It's like sitake choosing to grind more towards the beginning of the cave. Totally valid. And Genie and Blink getting another 4-pack here. Yeah, Lyra working their way up to the 3rd floor here, it looks like. But they're going to try to grab a 4-pack on the way up, or they're going to just farm for the 6-pack on the top floor. Looks... I think we got some slugs there. Can be a little deceiving there. The ants and the slugs showing the same sprite. It can be hard to tell. Ooh, and that's a shame. Got stuck on Blink's side. The mouse decided to assert itself into the situation. Shouldn't be too dangerous. Just going to eat up a little bit of time there. You're trying to get up onto the 3rd floor here, looking for a favorable fight. It's definitely going to be slugs. I don't know if this is going to be too many. I kind of lost count, to be honest with you there. So that might have been 16 on the 2nd floor, in which case this is just Jim Dandy. But we've got our 6-pack here that's definitely going to round out what we need to get to level 8 on Lyra's side. Yeah, the third floor can really get out of hand with the slug and the ant spawns on both sides. And once that lag starts coming in, aborting the mission can be very, very dangerous. I couldn't see if there was antoids on there too. We'll get to see with the when we clear this fight. The one downside of the 6-pack is you do have the chance of getting hypnotized there and being put to sleep. That can slow you down for sure. Able to get out of there and heal up, just taking a couple extra beats to stay safe. Catching a mouse on Blink's side, and it looks like Genie is making a run for floor 2. Lyra's out the door, gonna heal up and restock on psychic points. I think Sitake's got another grind here. So Blink through the top floor, and we've got Genie. It's like trying to get something to spawn here on the second floor. Got an instant win on Lyra's side. So anything 24 or above on offense, we can instant win on these ant fights as long as it's a single. I believe if you need to get at least 4 offense in the level 8, the level up there, to guarantee you've got enough on your offense to do that. Titanic ant fight. Lyra is the first one in with Blink right behind. We're going to start off with a PSI rockin'. Try to take out all of the black antoids behind and hopefully not take too much damage from Titanic ant. So first hit here, we've got our psychics off. And a biting attack from ant for Lyra. With decent rolls. So Blink getting the rest of the psychic points stolen. So not going to have life up to help out. Very nice fight for Blink. That was super quick. It looks like Lyra just clearing behind that. So very nice fight for both runners. Sitake not taking the risk, stuttering around the ant. Very nice job getting past that 2-pack there. Oh, that's a bummer. Starting off with the magnet there, so that's going to lose a rockin'. That's going to be tricky there. Able to get the first one off at least, so you don't have the antoids to deal with, but that's definitely going to make this a little dangerous. We do have life up to help us, so hopefully we can get some good rolls out of Ness. Ooh, a smash is not what we want to see. Hopefully we don't get an attack roll. Oh, no! Sitake, unfortunately, succumbing to the ant. So they're going to have to heal up here with Mom. Got Genie getting into the ant fight here. Really not a whole lot you can do when ant smashes, unfortunately. If you don't already have a heal queued up, you have to hope that ant doesn't attack you on the next round, or you're just kind of in for it. So Genie's second rock in here. We got a 78. Got our first appearance of Photo Guy. Get your fuzzy pickles in chat. Fence down for Genie. Always like to see those. And Ant is down for Genie. So We've got 3 of our runners through Giant Step here. We've got Lyra getting into the cop fights. Blink right behind. Sitake getting back into Giant Step here, so just has to try to not get too many encounters on the way up. Should be able to stutter past most of the things. If we do grab an encounter here, we do have Rockin' to help us out, fortunately, so that's good. Did not see... Should be alright on healing items. I don't think he used too many burgers. So we've got Lyra and Blink in the cop fights. We want to be watching out for our life. Anything below 50 we want to try to heal. Anything below 40 we're kind of looking into life up territory. Try to avoid the crushing chops as much as possible. Both runners' psychic points looking pretty good. Lyra does have a buffer of an extra life up here, which will probably come into play for the strong fight. But so far, fairly clean cop fights. So agile stutter work on Sitake's side, getting around the mouse and the ant there. Genie about to start up the cop gauntlet. Looks like Lyra's got to be the first one on to Captain Strong. Blink hot on her heels. Strong losing his temper right off the bat, so that's a nice start. And on guard, so... Very, very nice. Just mad about all kinds of stuff, but not willing to do anything about it. Good riddance, Captain Strong. So Lyra is the first one out of Onet. A 27 Onet is very, very respectable. Very, very nice. Strong on guard for Blink. And Strong is defeated. The 27-20. Blink not playing around, he believed in the power of Ness. The Genie's got 2 cops down. Sitake back into the Titanic ant fight here again. Was able to get both Rockins off there. We got a 73 on the second one there, healing up. So Magnet's a dead turn for Ant. We'll take that. So Sitake's back up to full. Just going to try to manage that help and hope for no more shenanigans. Cop down for Genie. Got one more getting into Strong. Want to try to leave this fight with as much health as possible, so you can start off with a Rockin' on Strong, and a smash will do that. 64 is a pretty good spot to start off there with Strong, but if he starts off with a submission hold, it's gonna put him in kind of a spicy situation. So we'll see what happens here. Whatever Genie chooses to do. Sitake trying to whittle Ant's health down here. Defense downs and magnets are alright, not doing any damage. And Ant is down. So out of the Giant Step Purgatory for Sitake. Meanwhile, on Lyra and Blink's side, we're heading off to Apple Kid. We're giving him a snack and investing in the future. fine example of cellular technology from this friendly mouse before heading off into Peaceful Rest Valley. So Genie escaping from O-Net with a 29 here, and Sitake gonna go and restock before the cop gauntlet. So we are choosing to go below the trees just in case there's some sneaky shrooms hiding there in the brush. So through the first room there, the second room here, we didn't have any room for the despawn there. It's going to be kind of tight. Able to get through that sprout. So this first pass is cooperating for Lyra into Peaceful Rest Valley. I'm going to try to hug the side of the cliff here. Hoping for not too many spawns. The enemies here in Peaceful Rest Valley are all very, very dangerous. They can move much faster than Ness can, and will otherwise just ruin your day. So, making sure to spawn the pencil. If you don't get quite far enough up there, the pencil will not spawn, and you will not get your Apple Kid call. Don't ask me how I know. And that's why we don't buffer our inputs. There are sprouts waiting there. Trying to sneak back through here without any encounters. The sprouts aren't mega dangerous, but they can call for help and really just drag your day out. So we just want to not deal with them at all if possible. So not having to contend with too many shrooms on that side. The aggro radius is fairly manageable if you're used to it. They'll leave you alone as long as you don't break their bubble. So we're making a pit stop here to grab a skip sandwich. Never hurts to have a snack for the walk to Happy Happy. I've seen quite a bit of that, and I've actually started doing it myself. It can be nice for those panic moments, or as an emergency cookie if you don't get a drop early in the game. Looks like Genie choosing to grab the butterfly here, since it's in his path. Restock on the psychic points, so in case you do get an encounter, you do have life up and rockin' to use. We are choosing to do the same thing while it's convenient. There are a couple of high probability spots that butterflies will spawn on the way through PRV that you can usually rely on, but it's nice to have that before you get into the thick of it. The last thing you want is to have to be trying to respawn one of those spots and not spawn other nasty enemies. Sitake with a smash on the cop there. 3 down, 1 to go, and then into the Captain Strong fight. The Blink grabbing the pencil eraser from Ample Kid, and Genie going up to check out this weird statue. Yeah, PRV tends to have a very ask and you shall keep asking mentality with the butterflies. So first around the bend here for Lyra, able to despawn that robot. Getting around this corner here can always be kind of dicey. There are just so many spawn plates up here. Choosing to boogie around there, grabbing this butterfly along the way. So across the non-broken bridge. It doesn't look like it. No, that robot's not going to let Lyra around. Blink erasing his statue. Genie making the journey back, and it looks like Sitake's through Captain Strong, so out of Onet. We are trying to get through this last pack of spawns here and get into Happy Happy, and it's just not cooperating. Into a bit of a pincer situation. Don't... That robot wanted to be mean. Alright, so that lower tree was able to despawn, so... Snuck around and into the cave here for Lyra, so on to Happy Happy, and stepped on Sneck. Oh no! Got a little too close to the shroom, and Sitake's got a couple of rambling evil mushrooms here to contend with. The spores are kind of annoying. We'll see if he chooses to deal with that at the hospital, or just wait until you get to the collector in Peaceful Rest Valley. It's manageable, but it can be very annoying getting through if you have to start stuttering through things. We are able to dodge the crows, stopping here to check on Paula in the shack. Blink stopping to power up a little bit there. I did not see if either of the runners bought any more healing items, but I think they still had a few left over after the cop gauntlet. Able to despawn all of the cultists there in the cave on Blink's side. Don't want to deal with any of those encounters at all. The fights are unrunnable because they're scripted to be with the unrunnable flag, just like bosses, because of these events, and they can still call for help. So one of the cultists down for Lyra, and the call for help does come through, unfortunately. So 2 of the now 3 are down. Looks like we've got Cultist D on our hands. Can stop calling for help anytime. At this point, choosing to use another rock in here, probably the right call. So Cultist C is down, and only a 50 on Cultist D. Thanks a lot, Rockin'. Alright, so that'll take care of Cultist D. A really dicey shack fight, but nice work getting through that one. Holy cow, big extra bump of health, so won't need any healing before the next cultist encounter. We'll see where we're at after that one. And it did look like Lyra was fully stocked on healing items. And blinked through shack fight without too much ado, so made up a little bit of time on Lyra on that one. Genie steps on Sneck. Sitake grabbing the butterfly. Egg. The egg and the banana. The breakfast of champions. Into the cultist fight for Lyra here. We're going to see 57. A pain attack. We don't want to see any more calls for help, so 2 quick hits on the dome. Cultist is down, and we're into the Carpainter fight. Carpainter fight, fairly predictable. We are hoping to see some reflex out of the crashing boom bang attacks. The turn order is going to go, he is going to use his lightning attack. He's going to heal himself, then he's going to attack. And on the second loop, he will do the lightning attack again and shield himself, and then he will attack. So as long as we're mindful of our health, I think the highest he's bound to roll was in the mid-50s, I want to say. Mid to upper 50s. So as long as we're keeping an eye on that on a smash. Taking the health there, 46 hit, so sitting at 18 health there. We don't want to leave this fight with too much health to set up for our death warp there. A big smash. Not getting any reflex on Lyra's side. Meanwhile, Blink gets through the car painter fight, so pulling ahead. Genie, we're up to Cultist D. And this is just a brutal car painter fight for Lyra here. Holy cow. Genie through the shack fight there. Blink is going to go pick up Paula from the shack and start up our death warp. Unfortunately, Lyra here is really just waiting for some reflects. There we go. Come on. So I believe a reflect is supposed to be somewhere in the 25%-ish range. So based on that math, that was ridiculous. So Lyra opting not to take the skip sandwich out of the headquarters here. Super over that place. Don't blame her at all. Blink going through, dropping some extra items here. We don't need the defense items here because we're ideally not going to take any more fights outside of the one that we want to die from. So, gonna drop the teddy bear that comes with Paula and head off to most likely fight the mole. Didn't see how much health Blink left the car painter fight. There is a case to be made for going to PRV if you've just got a ton of health, or if you're jonesing for a couple life noodles. But the mole playing rough here is, I'm not gonna say reliable, but he's always here, and you don't have to go back into PRV. Nice quick hit on Ness and Paula there, taking care of all of the hit points, and Blink is going to be the first one off to the Death Warp. So, send us back to Tucson, grab a little bit of money, and bring Paula back, and we'll take care of some more story triggers. Lyra's got Paula, is going to go and set up the Death Warp there as well. Sitake dealing with a Robo here, which is not a fun place to be. Was able to get through the fight. We caught a cold, but we do have healing to help us out there. It looks like Genie's got a reflect, and Car Painter is down. Lyra's got Paula taken care of, just needs the mole to stop hitting itself. That should take care of it. Lyra's got the Death Warp taken care of. Alright, so Sitake through PRV, heading into Happy Village here. Blink's going to meet up with our friend Everdread. A non-conspicuous pile of money and head off to see some fine theater. Sitake equipping up. Cultist being rude. Genie setting up their death warp. Quick hit on Paula there. Trying to get our money out of the mole, but he just won't pay up. And into the shack fight for Sitake. And a call for help right off the bat, but it was before the rock-in, so hopefully we get some decent rolls. 82, not quite enough, and a 95, so that actually took care of the joiner. That was nice. Just enough to take out the cultists there. Go ahead, rockin' again. Just get rid of them. Alright. Not playing around. So 58 health going into the next cultist fight. Genie going to revive Paula. We've got Blink and Lyra here, enjoying the runaway 5. Everybody grab your dancing shoes. So first turn call for help does nothing on Sitake's side. Quick fight through that. We'll take that. Sitake's off to Carpainter there. Sneaking through the lamppost there to jump on the bus on Blink. Sidewalk check. Turn radius on this thing is outrageous. Reflecting a hit there is going to take out Carpainter for Sitake. Got a pile of hit points to contend with, but that's a fine problem to have. Nice quick setup from Lyra there to sneak through and onto the bus. Blink is the first one to freed. We'll see what happens here in the graveyard. I didn't quite catch it, but it looked like there might have been a trick-or-treat kid that Blink was dodging off. So ducking under that to avoid a couple of potential spawn triggers up there. Let the zombies stare into our soul. We'll see what happens coming back. Couple flies there. So choosing to use that skip sandwich there just as an added precaution. Quite a few spawns, but nothing we couldn't escape from. Very nice work from Blink. Gonna take a quick detour into the hotel here to see what this nice lady has, and oh my goodness. So, dodging the marionettes on Lyra's side. Those flies are probably the sketchiest. But all of the enemies here can pose their own kind of threat. I've got into Graveyard, just need to get out for Lyra. And ooh, a couple of spawns there sneaking up. Around the bend. Sitake still working with the mole here, trying to get all of those hit points whittled down to get the Death Warp set up. We've got a left bus from Genie. And we got Blink and Lyra off to Winters to meet our friend Jeff. Any Jeff fans in the house? Genie making his way into Threed. We've got Sitake through the Death Warp, bring back Paula. Blink stopping to talk to our good friend here, who has nothing but helpful things to say. Oh, no protractor for Jeff. Finding out this key doesn't work and he's wasted our time, Jeff is going back to do nothing as always. Genie's sneaking through the graveyard here. Gonna go visit the zombies. Blink picking up the pop gun and the Holmes hat. Gear up for the true last boss of the game. Ooh, and Sitake getting an unfortunate fight here in Tucson on the way out of Paula's house. So Blink getting a monkey for the low price of $1. We don't want to see the goat spawns there, so we're going to back off of that one. And we don't want to see the goat spawns there, so we're going to back off of that one. Crow's alright, just annoying. I'm going to despawn that guy too. Don't mind seeing a dog pop up if they do, but otherwise just want to try to sneak through here. Snuck by the photo trigger into the theater for Sitake, gonna get his dance break. And Genie is off to Winters. Looks like Lyra opted to not deal with the dog. The dog took off. Didn't feel like dealing with Lyra either. Got our first Tessie ride of the night. Tessie's in chat. We got double Tessie action. It's gonna be a fine day, folks. Blink saying goodbye to Tessie. Quick dodge down to the left to despawn this goat. What goat, you may ask? Exactly. And onto the true last boss of the game. Had a decent setup, but Monkey was just eager beaver. Diving face first into the protoplasm. So we're gonna hope Jeff put his glasses on. 2 hits. 3 hits, and protoplasm is down, so blink through. The true last boss of Earthbound. Genie getting a green swirl there on that crow with Monkey's help, getting a cookie out of the bargain. Ooh, and that duck is okay, so that is just a beautiful setup for the duck skip there. Let's see if he's going to cooperate. He sure does. Ooh boy, that was a spicy brick road for Blink. Very, very nice. That was a textbook duck and second proto skip. The kind you read about in Sports Illustrated. We were trying to set up the duck skip there. That looks like it might be okay. Right, and grabbing a little extra heal in there just in case. Blink stuttering through that last of the first screen of Pond Cave there, and choosing to stutter this second room here can be dicey. Ooh boy, and it looks like the lag might have gotten the best of them there. So, Ant and a Slug, not the worst thing to contend with. We do have some healing items, but the ants do a hefty amount of damage to us. Oh no! I spoke too soon. Blink is down, so not going to have to contend with anything in Brick Road here. The enemies do not respawn. The spawn flag is turned off once they come out the door there, but unfortunate death in Pond Cave there is going to let Lyra take back the lead. Genie taking the Tessie ride. Stuttering past a couple of slugs there. Always a tricky spot. You just don't know what you're going to get into as you start moving. Ooh, and this mushroom might be a problem. Yeah, choosing to go back and deal with the slugs instead. That's the risk you run stuttering through Pond Cave. It works until it doesn't. So pretty quick fights, fortunately, for Lyra. Get through that 3-pack of slugs onto the third room here. Blink back into Pond Cave, trying to stutter his way to victory. And might have a free pass here at the third room. Fortunately, the enemies tend to get hung up in between those sections, so you have a chance to reset yourself. Got a really, really tight race here on the right side. Down to within about... This is less than 5 seconds apart from what I can tell. That's wacky. Got Genie working through protoplasm there. Nicely done. And a cookie. And Sitake dealing with our friendly key salesman. So Monkey found better things to do, and we're going to go visit our estranged father. We're sneaking underneath the photo trigger there. So these two are going to be on the Star Runner with less than 10 seconds of a gap there. So this is really anything can happen. There are still so many things that can go either which way. So many shenanigans. Genie through room 1. The second section here in room 2 is just not cooperating for Genie. As we've seen, they're stutterable, and that looks like it's okay. He was able to sneak past the mushroom. Very nicely done. That stutter got sketchy for a minute. With Monkey there just dragging behind, you never know if a mouse is going to make a break for it. So very nicely done from Genie. Take gonna go and get some stew and take the final Tessie ride of the evening. One more round of Tessies as Blink is coming in for a landing here. Easy. Nice. Like a glove. Yes, I believe you're right, Uko. So Blink opted not to take the teddy bear there. Probably knows just how close this is. We are the same thing. They're both making a break for it. Are there any skip sandwiches left in reserve? No menus and no spawns for Blink. Right into Boogey tent. We are right behind. What is going to happen? We got a BBR 295 for Blink. Let's get serious. Oh my goodness, and Jeff is down. You've got to be kidding me. And Lyra is getting dogged? What just happened? Alright, so we got an 80 out of a rockin' there. One more rockin'. 56. You're gonna have to hope to be able to bash this one out. I don't know how much we've got left healing in the tank for Blink. Oh my goodness, one hit point does it! You've got to be kidding me! $510 for the BBR for Lyra. I have no words. That's madness. Boogey is just gonna boogie. And a dot done at 106.58 for Blink. And just about gonna be like a 12-13 second gap for Lyra right behind. What a race. Bananas. Genie grabbing the teddy bear out of the trash can here before the Boogey fight. Into the Boogey fight for Genie here. Let's see what happens. 80 and a 375. Not a great roll for Genie. 579 total hit points, so definitely got some ground to make up. The regular bottle rocket 121 was enough to finish that one off. So GG's to Genie there. It's going to end up about a low 109, so very nice. Sitake trying to stutter. Ooh, we got a green swirl out of it at least. Grabbing the safety burger there. Restock our health. So Mouse eager to party there. Oh, really? That's just rude. Looked like Sitake was trying to take the slugs there as a chosen fight, and there was a mouse off screen, and he just couldn't say no. Oh, and a very nice green swirl out of that one. Wasn't sure if Monkey was going to make it through there, and that slug was going to ruin the day. So, Monkey using us for our bubblegum one last time here. Grab our bottle rocket and head off to our Sky Runner. One last set of spawn tiles here in the cave to contend with. Looks like that one should be safe. As long as they're low enough that they can't bounce up and over the corner there, you can usually just let them hang up. Oh, that's a fun place for a snake. Oh, Lyra's getting hints out of the tent glitch. That's interesting. I've never seen that one before. But what is the hint? What does it mean? You didn't sell me the code book. One last Skyrunner flight of the evening. We'll see what adventures sitake has in store with Boogey Tent. It's been a very exciting one. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. First round was so very exciting. The second round is starting off to be just as such. Got an action-packed day tomorrow as well. More loops around. This graveyard can be a little ugly. So far it hasn't seemed to have bit anybody too hard today, and I'm just praying I didn't jinx sitake too much coming out of here. I didn't see if anybody got the tech skip on the door. Saves very minimal, but swag points for sure. Oh! There you go. Thanks, sitake. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. And if you don't get it the first time, you have to try again. At that point, you're committed. Alright, so no erroneous spawns there for sitake. Let's hope Jeff does his job. Defend, defend, BBR. And we have nothing because he gets frozen. $3.99 out of the BBR, so we're gonna have to do a backup here. Let the second bottle rocket fly. Did not work. Fantastic. Well played, Jeff. Glad you were here. We've got some fire coming out of Paula. Got a little extra experience there to work with. Alright, the 65 rockin' is enough to take down Boogey 10. So mashing through some level ups here for sitake. GG's to everybody's in chat. Been a fantastic set of races. The unfortunate ant death from the smash on sitake and the I think the one death on Blink's side there were the only real hiccups. Otherwise, they were very clean runs. Sitake gonna wrap up here with the Fly Honey and with a high 116. And an instant temp glitch. Wasted no time there. Like a pro. JH7H. With that, I think our evening is coming to a close, folks. Thanks once again for everybody coming in. Awesome races. Looking forward to the next set tomorrow. Hopefully everybody has a good rest of your evening, and we will see you again.